Hey, good evening, everyone. In tonight's free trading video, I want to take a look at the S&P to start. And I continue to get questions about where my thoughts are on the S&P 500 right now. And quite frankly, I don't have anything here. I mean, right now we're sort of jumping around in this range. I need to see something a little bit more dramatic before I decide to get in on this market, whether it's long or short. Obviously, you can see the trend has been to the upside, but we've kind of been chopping in this range for quite some time, a few months now. So that to me is suggestive of maybe there's a possible chance we roll over. I don't know exactly. You can see that there's sort of a left shoulder and then a head, so maybe this starts to form a right shoulder here. That's something I'll be paying close attention to. Otherwise, I am not really doing much with the S&P 500. I've using what we talked about in yesterday's video, looking at the bigger picture and then going from there. All I can get from here is that this market is in an uptrend, right? So I have some longs, but I'm not taking any longs. I don't have any shorts, so I'm just kind of sitting and waiting. All right, that's where I stand on the S&P 500. A couple of you guys asked me about oil. So I've got an oil chart here on the monthly, and again, this is from a few weeks back. I put these horizontal lines of where I expect oil to get to, and I think we're pretty much very, very close to that. The month end will be really interesting. We're about a week's off or so from the month's end. So I look at this and I see a move into this area and then possibly a rebound. That hasn't happened yet, so continue to stay short. If you see selling opportunities, get in on them. I think there's still a few dollars to the downside here. Otherwise, again, you gotta be patient. If you've missed the majority of this move, don't. One of the most important things is not to get caught up in emotion, right? Just because you didn't have a move on the way down doesn't mean that there's not going to be other opportunities. Stay patient, stay focused. That's really the key to staying ahead in this game of trading, right? Most people think, like in most jobs, the more active you are, the better off you are. Well, guess what? In trading, it's almost the complete opposite. The more patient you are, and in many cases, the more times you're doing nothing, you're actually better off. Why? Because you're not losing money. You're not putting money at risk. So keep that in mind. Unless you have a solid strategy, as we do here, do not take trades for the heck of it, okay? I don't have a play on oil yet, so I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting. If we get into that range, as I have here on the monthly, I'm going to be looking for longs. When that happens, we'll revisit. Until then, nothing to do. All right, looking back on the euro from yesterday, you can see it's rebounded a little bit. I want to see a real retracement, something significant up into this range if we're going to do anything to the short side. That hasn't happened yet, kind of still hanging out there. All right, one last market, and that's a look at gold here. You can see that gold has really pushed up in the last few weeks here. And look what's happening here. This is a monthly chart, again, using the big picture. You can see it's kind of butting up against the top of this sort of triangle here, right? So I am watching that very carefully because guess what? If this starts to push through, we might see an explosive move. What's interesting is I've been long gold for literally 2 years. So you can see from the low to this high here, we bounced into that 618 range. I got in initially right here, looking for a bounce. It bounced up, came down, bounced up, came down. Never broke through our stop, so kind of just I've literally been hanging onto gold, no joke, for 2 years. Probably maybe even more. Yeah, about 2 years now. So it's butting up against this right now. I'm watching it. If it breaks through this triangle, watch out. It's going to push hard. It'll probably push $100 or $2 very quickly if that happens. So keep a very close eye on gold here. Whittle down, start looking at the dailies. You can see right here, this looks like it may want to retrace. This looks like an interest in trade, in fact. You can see we've got a retest to this high. Some people would short this. I don't have a setup to do that right now, but what I do see right now is if I go from this most recent low to that most recent high, what you'll notice is if gold manages to start retracing down, we have some previous structure resistance which would act as support. So this might be an area where you can jump in and maybe get a move to retest here, or you never know, it could be the beginnings of a low risk entry that ends up pushing through and taking out to new highs. So watch this very carefully. If it breaks through here though, another story. So some people have asked, can they get long now? You certainly could. It would have been better to get in towards the 618, but you certainly could with a stop below the low here and then see if it goes. Or again, you can wait and see if it pulls back. All right. Overall, I'm bullish on gold based on the trade from way back here, but it needs to break through this little triangle if it's going to really go anywhere. All right. One quick thing, if you guys want to support me in these videos, you can do that for as little as $3 a month. What I'm trying to do is a little bit of a different model here, and rather than sell just a bunch of courses, trying to help a larger amount of people by asking for just a little bit each month. So if you'd like to do that, consider doing that. Just go to Ratio Trading, click on this banner here, and you'll be taken to a page where you can do that. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys next time.